Deuce grew up on my street, on 77 between Hoover and Figueroa, but he was claiming 6 Deuce East Coast. And there were none but Hoovers in that neighborhood.
About humanity, putting truth in these lines, while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray with y'all shine. Lock the door. Hook-Postman. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is going to send you big.
Yeah, when me and Tik Tok met, we were at the Fox Hill Mall. And one thing I learned early in life, if you want to be competitive, you got to have the best. And that's why it's like, yo, Tik Tok, you know. And the crazy thing is, I probably seen him several times at the at Venice Beach.
That's correct.
You know what I'm saying? At Venice Beach. We were all there.
Yep.
But to see him like up in person like that was like, I was like, damn.
Yeah,
and the thing about it, they gave me the name Tik Tok because I was just Anthony Tripplett.
That's who you were.
And they gave me the name Tik Tok. We was coming back from Venice Beach one day on the bus.
Yeah.
And we was popping on the bus. And I started ticking on the bus, doing the aisles. You know how the bus move?
Right.
And when the bus go forward, I would back up and I would just do little moves on that. And they start calling me Tik Tok. And this was coming back from Venice Beach. That's how I got that name.
So
Before
what
that, I was
challenges,
just Anthony
what
Tripplett,
challenges
or the
did
people
you
call me
face?
Dooney.
You growing up in the jungles, you growing up in the 20s.
Right.
You grew up in Long Beach, well, Inglewood, Long
Actually,
Beach,
I was on
all over.
28th and Bronson.
28th and Bronson.
City. Bitty.
You grew up in the Hoovers.
Yeah.
Right.
You grew up at
South Central.
Right.
What challenges did you guys face with other people that didn't know all this, and they would see you together and they say, wait a minute, dude from over there or dude from over there?
Well,
you know what I mean? So
you know what?
As black people,
But look,
we always looking to find.
I'm gonna try to let me try to clarify that for you.
Go ahead.
Right there, as black people, but when we in a group together,
Right.
it ain't no gang banging nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Because
get
it's
out.
just a popping thing with us.
popping thing.
So it ain't no gang banging nothing. So I don't care where he from, he don't care where I'm from, or whatever.
popping.
Because it ain't
just get out.
we not bringing that rah-rah to each other or trying to claim that with each other, or whatever.
Yeah. And you know another thing, we look so damn good. You would have never had a
What do
clue.
you mean by that?
I'm saying we was always
Clean, period.
We
So
was
you would
clean.
never think
You wouldn't
of
have
them,
think in a
these
million
dudes is gangbanging, period.
years.
Or hung
You know.
around them.
Can I say one thing? Me being around Big Deuce, OG Longbeach time banning 6 Deuce East Coast crib. When he came to Long Beach in 1980, Deuce was already a banger. See, you gotta remember,
he was.
certain dudes was gang members and gang bangers, but the dancing was an escape. So what happened was that, like the big homie said, whenever you was dancing, it was considered neutral. Now, when you got done with the dancing, homie, that's when you became, whatever you was doing outside of that, that's your own get down.
And let me say this about Deuce too.
Yeah.
I just want to say this about Deuce. Deuce grew up on my street, on 77 between Hoover and Figueroa, but he was claiming 6 Deuce East Coast. and there wasn't none but Hoovers in that neighborhood.
Wow.
But
Well,
yeah, but it was like
It was.
Deuce's sister stayed right there in the front house, Kathy.
Yeah.
And he was gangbanging, but it was a respect thing
Yeah.
with East Coast and Hoovers then. So it wasn't like, no, he live over here, this can't happen. It wasn't none of that, man, because back then,
Yeah.
everybody was respected, man.
And Deuce, and it's for the record, before Deuce turned 6 Deuce, he was from 7-8 Hustler. You see what I'm saying? So he had a lot of mutual homies from Swans. But when that thing fell out, you know, he always told me the history. But again, he was a 7-8 Hustler. But see, when Deuce started popping, it was like, you know, 77, 78. But then Deuce ended up, I'm going to say it's about the big homie, rest in peace. When Deuce went to Long Beach, Deuce turned that whole area out. I mean, from the whole South Bay to Wilmington, he's the one that got Boogaloo Shrimp on the movie Breaking. He taught that boy. He taught the Mexican brother, Bruno, which is Poppin' Taco, rest in peace.
Yeah.
When Deuce first came to that South Bay area, he met up with a famous figure named is Big Space Ghost from the 90s. So Big Space Ghost,
Lino Space Ghost?
Yeah.
bro,
That's him.
He's gonna be a part. Hold on. He's gonna be a part of our group called Time Zone. So when me and Deuce made this group in 2012, Space Ghost used to always call us up, man, cuz I'm gonna be a part of y'all group. And
he was cousin.
bro, Big Space Ghost, the big homie.
Crazy.
And amazing. Now another story. He told me he taught Taco him Scrap animation recipes that we love dearly.
Yeah.
He taught him the Moon Run.
Yeah, he did.
It's bills of him pop-locking. So again, the baddest gangbangers was poppers and dancers.
They were at
so
the
you
time.
just can't look at dancers and say, oh, these dudes is weak. Bro, dancing is a part of our culture and our history.
Yeah.
So again, him and Ghost was gangbanging in Long Beach. I can tell y'all multiple stories. The big homie Frey gonna see this from Time Banish. I love all the Time Banish. Shout out to Darren, Poppin' Pierre, you know what I'm saying? Peanut, So Russell Tough, Boogaloo Legs, Chauncey, Lil Skeleton, Jeff Hogan, Darren, the homie OG Ken Cuffy, and all these dudes used to run with Big Space Ghost. So you gotta remember, bro, it's so much history and so much stuff that happened from the shootouts to people, man, it would take a whole year to do all these stories.
Another question. I remember when I used to go to the forum, we used to get concerts at the forum.
That's correct.
I used to see all these different, I imagine they was popping crew or locking
No,
crews.
Uncle Jam armies.
Well,
That was at the sports arena.
That was
Yeah.
just one set of.
Yeah.
It'd be multiple.
Multiple other places, right.
Exactly.
Were you guys some of those performers?
Look, I'm gonna
there?
tell you a story right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. The big homeboy from 7-6 Blue Rag. He said when they heard Pack Jam,
Oh,
they
man.
had Uncle Jam armies.
That's
that was
right.
a gangbang song, but for us, it's a popping song
That's
too.
what it was. Yeah.
But
Right up under the stadium.
When they heard Pack Jam, he said it would be a circle of dudes popping. Then whoever who was gangbang, they would stop popping and start squabbling. So you had Murder Rock. When they heard Murder Rock, or they heard all the art of noise that boom, 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 boom,
Right,
boom,
right.
eat them
Right,
up.
right.
He said, dude used to go crazy. So
They did.
It's so many street dudes that did this in their spare time, but they never got their history out because it's like due to these. That's why I brought all the homies.
Specifically, when these concerts used to have,
Right.
what was y'all mindset and what was the makeup? What was the preparation? Because now you finna see Uncle Jam's Army, you finna Raven Prince and all these different
Right.
guys and Charles and the Captain Crunch and the
Funky Bunch, right.
and all these different popping and locking
Right.
groups, the Lockers,
Right.
the LA Lockers,
Right.
and so on, right?
I
Who
can tell
can
you
get
this
that?
much. I can tell you this much.
That's what it was about.
When Royal Flush walked into any place,
Yeah.
we was represented not only by our crew, but damn near everybody in the place.
Man.
So nobody ever brought funk to us because we were loved by everybody.
Man.
Everybody knew who we was.
Right.
I can't speak for the east side or
Right.
none of that stuff,
Right.
but if you come on the west,
Right.
and if anybody on the west is traveling with us,
Yeah.
to Uncle Jam's Army or
Right.
any of these other
Right.
places, you couldn't fade us.
So, Herta, what was your experience when you used to go to the farm? And I don't know
Sports
what
arena?
your crew, sports arena or whatever.
Well, I was mostly at that time when we were younger, back in the days doing the Outlaws, I was mostly a loner. And when I got with the 80 area with Freak Daddy Mike, Baby G, County, Mookie, Steve, like I said earlier from the Radiotron, we went to Uncle Jam's Army. Scrappy, he was there. And the first time I met Tripplett, he had a long skinny curl, skinny kid, had powder blue, had his name on, Anthony Tripplett, and he was Sinbad and waiting. And I looked over and I said, that's Tripplett. I said, so let me go back. I said, ain't you Anthony Tripplett? He said, yeah. He said, you dance like somebody I know. And when I saw him, man, this brother was doing some stuff I ain't never seen nobody do. Man, he was rolling his arm, man, and started Sinbad. I said, I know where he got that from. But when I came along, I would roll by myself, drop the homeboys off in the 80s when we would roll different places together. If we wasn't hanging there, we was at the Radiotron with the Freak Daddy Mike and them. If we wasn't there, we was at Venice Beach getting down. And with Newton at the Forum, we knew a couple of people over in the Inglewood area were getting down, was Inglewood family. But they never did bother because they knew we was from the rolling 20s and some was from the 40 block. And as time went along, we would just be alone by ourselves.
So Boogaloo, what was your experience? Did you ever go to the Alpine Village? Because they should be up there popping too. Yeah.
Nah, we never hit that up. We was kind of like Hollywood people, Santa Monica, Venice Beach, like that, and clubbing. Like I said, and we was mixing too much, man, because we was about making our money too at the time. It was a fucking struggle back then. We had to go through the fucking riots, 65, that Patty Hearst shit and Watts.
Went through that.
All type of shit.
And see, Patty Hearst came through Hoover Hood. That's where they called her at.
That's what they did.
83rd and 4th and Hoover right there.
Just robbed the bank when she got caught.
Yeah, she got all the brothers.
Because I used to go to the Greater Bethany right there on 84th.
I know where's that.
In Hoover.
That's right.
That was my church, Bishop R.W. McMurray.
Yeah. That's it.
That's before Bishop Noel Jones took it
came over. That's right.
It was Bishop. I went there all my life.
All right.
You know?
That's what I'm talking about.
And when Noel Jones took it over, I kind of stopped going because it started being a celebrity thing.
That's what it was.
So that's why I stopped going to the church.
What I'm trying to get in the framework is that where did you guys meet to challenge each other to see who was the best?
At the clubs.
Venice
Beach. Eve at the Dark.
Eve at the Dark. Workshop.
Westwood.
Biggest showdowns were
Hollywood Boulevard.
Hollywood Boulevard, Venice Beach was my thing.
In Long Beach, can I say this one? In Long Beach, you had Noah's Ark. Let me say this. In Long Beach, you had Noah's Ark, which is Club Infinity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had the Hutch.
Yeah.
I remember the Hut.
Used to go to the Hutch.
Yeah.
The canteen, the Hut.
So again, for the big homie, when the gangbangers see you, they always ask you, let me see you get down.
They did.
Let me see you get down.
They sure did.
So if you was hard, you got their respect.
That's right.
Because they wouldn't take your white gloves from you.
No,
every
tennis shoes or nothing.
had on the white gloves.
They sure did.
He had the radio.
The gangbangers wanted your gloves?
Man, they'll take your
take
gloves.
your own
They take your
stars.
whole thing.
Man, they'll take
I
your
remember
radio
coming back.
from you.
I remember coming back from Seven Hills Park. I had a big old radio at the bus stop on Figueroa and Washington.
Yeah.
Niggas take your radio from me.
And Mexicans came from this side.
Yeah, they did.
I seen
They
them
did.
drive by.
They
I
did.
seen them drive by, and I had
They wanted that radio.
It was my brother's friend radio that they left at the house.
Right.
And my stupid butt, I'm a little kid. I took this big old. That was one of the big old radios.
Yeah.
I took it to Chevy Hills Park, and on my way back from Chevy Hills Park, right there on the bus stop.
Where did you guys practice at?
Well, for me, I practiced at 22nd Park. And as time went along, in the 80 area, I skipped that and went on practice different places, and mostly at home. Right there on 47th on the 48 block, we had a crew around there called the Boulevard Knights. It's about 6 break dancers and about 4 or 5 pop lockers. JT was in it.
Yeah.
Myself, a guy named Duck, went to Jefferson High School when I was 11th grade at the time when we was getting down. And a guy named Ivan J. We got down, and that's how we started battling again in the 80 area and started getting down. So they knew when I come around, it's time to get down. Ain't with nothing to play. Let's roll. Quit playing. So we would go in 46 neighborhood off of Ascot over Miss Adams' house. That was his mom. She was an RTD driver. And Boulevard now, he's still mixing and everything. And he was an ex-gangbanger too himself in the trade neighborhood. So that's how we started getting down. Then we started going out towards San Pedro. weighing folks out there in Hollywood. So we had a cold group do it. Yeah.
Another story. Big Deuce told me.
Yeah.
He said when they battle people, if you had on a golf hat, and if you wanted to, if you want to lost that bout, they'll take your pin from you.
That's right.
And then they would battle you for your shoes.
That's right.
Dudes was betting.
K-Swiss and everything.
Betting on dudes. I'm gonna tell you one story about the Robot Prince.
Yeah.
There's a steakhouse right there off of Manchester.
That's correct.
He told
Fast
me.
Eddie's.
Yeah.
He
Fast
told
Eddie's.
me himself.
Right. That's where he was.
Robot Prince. Robot Rob. He told me himself. And the big homie forgot his name. He said that they had a battle. So it was a contest and Robot Prince dusted them off. But they bet money on Prince and I guess the brothers were mad who lost.
Oh yeah.
And it was a shootout. So he said they in there eating their breakfast at the steakhouse. Next thing you know, them dudes walked by and started to shoot the whole damn spot up, and they had to run with their breakfast, and they eating the breakfast.
Man, they didn't want to lose that breakfast. So, they just bought it.
Again, if it was so ferocious, you just couldn't beat. This is why all these styles were invented, man. Because again, brother, due to the attention, everybody wanted attention, and then people was getting the women. Then people was getting money off this.
Oh yeah.
And your whole rap. This is before the dope game.
Yeah.
Your rap was all about how good well you can dance.
That's what it was.
Man, one thing you guys are all missing, right? And I'm sure it's not on purpose, is that the part that karate played all in.
Okay, well, we can go there.
The popping, the karate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because where I grew up at, that's what they did.
Yeah.
They do all the older guys.
That's correct.
That's what they was doing. Even Dre do
know Dre.
karate.
I know Dre get out.
Andre.
I
You
know
know,
he
and
get
that's who I basically start popping with is Bop and Dre.
Yeah.
Andre. Me and him used to pop for hours and hours and hours, either at my mother's house or his mother's house. He stayed right around the corner from me. And we learned that. And when I was locking and Dre was locking, Dre was also doing karate and all that. That's why he's so limber and stuff, you know?
Right.
Cause Dre know that karate tough,
That's why
you
he
know?
used to wear karate shoes.
Yeah, we all wore karate
That's
shoes.
where we
See,
got that
what
shit
we
from.
did when
I'll kick Dre's ass. I'll just
see, people didn't even know I was doing that way back in the 70s. A guy, my sensei was named Spody. He's about 6'3", 6'2", and he would hold his legs straight up. So he told me, he knew I was a PoP-Locking
Everybody
dancer.
wanted to be Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly and
Exactly.
Bruce Lee and
Because you know
everybody
why?
tried.
Because back in the 70s, we used
Yeah.
to
I
go
had to be Jim
downtown
Kelly,
That's
sorry.
all
I
we
wanna
and
be
watch
Bruce
them
Lee.
movies. That's all we had is them
And
karate
Chuck
movies
Norris.
from downtown.
I tell
Now-
you this
Chuck
much,
Norris
before,
was good.
Before I started popping, I studied Kung Fu,
That's correct.
took first place in the internationals.
That's right.
And my dojo was right over there, right over there by West Boulevard.
Right.
My seafood, William Williamson's.
All right.
He is one of the reasons why I'm graceful with my dancing, and nobody really messed with me back in the day because I had
Back
them
in the
hands.
day.
I had them hands.
That's what I'm talking about.
And also, one of the reasons why Royal Flush was so tough was because of the discipline
Yeah.
from myself that came with the martial
But
arts.
Dr. Who, y'all was dancers.
No, but you got to have discipline. That's one of the things
You
that I
got to
told
have
people.
discipline.
Look, people don't understand. If you're going to be the best,
Yeah, be the best you
you
can be.
got to have discipline.
Absolutely.
And not only discipline with your dancing, but you have to be mentally
Yeah.
Principle.
sound, and you have to be able to actually have the mindset of a person that can split his brain
Yep.
in two
Yeah.
or three, and know when you're doing routines, this is what's coming next. I can feel this brother right here.
That's right.
I can feel his movement and know what he's doing, and that's why. And Tripplett can attest to this. Tik Tok. That's why we were so good and we were so respected because we moved in unison.
Right.
Like that, and a lot of people didn't have that.
I'm glad you said that because the simple reason why is when I was doing it at that time, people didn't even know.
Cali Miners, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga. Streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top. Diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a bro fish the time of day. They see me climbing. They see me shining. That's hard work. Proof of grinding. day later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking. And I don't talk about it, I just make it happen.